I got that California.
What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our draft analysis for Season 2 of the PCL. Now, if you guys don't know, the PCL is a league that Austin created. Austin, aka Garchomp the God. He came to me, I believe it was like a few months ago, and he said, "Hey, I want to start a league. Can you help me with it?" We worked together a bit. He ended up working with a couple other people who were extremely awesome, much more amazing admins than I was, and they created this awesome league called the PCL, and I didn't participate in Season 1, but I am now in Season 2, and this is another Ubers league. There is going to be some Ubers. It's not going to be as crazy as BBL, but I think it's a bit more crazy than ICBA, so we're going to kind of get into that. Now, the way the draft works, there are 5 tiers, very standard. You have to take a Tier 1, a Tier 2, 2 Tier 3s, a Tier 4, a Tier 5, a Mega, and then 4 Fremons that total up to a maximum of 400 points. And if you get a certain Mega that's below Tier 1 or it's not in the S tier, or yeah, basically depending on your tier for your Mega, you get more or less points. Now, each team also has the opportunity to grab at most 1 S tier or 1 S tier Mega. So S tier Megas, there's the Mega Laddies, there's Mega Metagross, there's I believe Mega Kangaskhan is part of it too, there's Mega Mawile. For the Ubers, there's like Genesect, Dialga, Reshiram, Aegislash, like there's a ton of really crazy mons. I had my eyes set on Dialga from the very beginning. But we had the 10th pick, so I didn't think it was going to get to us. But anyways, it's going to be a very interesting team for your Milotics. We actually have a very powerful roster. We finished, I believe this was number 4 on the post-draft power rankings, and I believe we should have been higher. That's just me. Anyways, let's kind of get into it. So we had the 10th pick in the draft, and first overall is Reshiram, and then second overall is, I believe, Magirna or something, if I'm not mistaken. But the draft goes all the way down, and by the time it gets to number 9, there's still no Dialga taken. So I'm like, I'm gonna get Dialga. Like this mon should have gone first overall. It's by far the best mon in this entire format that we have. Just the coverage it has, everything is great. But it got sniped from me 1 pick before, so I said this really sucks because all the other my backups, all of them like Aegislash and Mega Metagross, all that, they're all gone. So what do I do? And I say, okay, I'm going to draft Tapu Koko. Now, Tapu Koko is a mon that I have a decent amount of experience with. It's pretty fast at base 130 speed. It's got respectable attack and special attack at 115 and 95 respectively. But when you pair that with Electric Surge, its stab electric moves just become so much more powerful. It's got stab Dazzling Gleam, it's got access to Grass Knot, it's got access to Brave Bird and other flying coverage, it's got access to Nature's Madness, which is an incredible move. And if you guys want to hear me talk more about Tapu Koko, then you guys should check out the link in the description or in the card at the top right of your screen to the Pokemon profile video I did on Tapu Koko a couple weeks ago. Anyways, Koko is a very strong mon though. It really sets our team up for kind of the future. It allows me to draft an Uber a bit later in the draft if I choose to do so, and I mean it really opens up a lot of different things for me, and I was the first person to not take an Uber or a S tier Mega as their first pick in the draft, and as much as I wanted Dialga, I am fine with doing that. Moving on though, I was talking to my front office, and shout out to them, they were incredible this entire time. I kind of am trying to do something different. I don't know if it's going to happen, but if it does, you'll know a bit later. But basically we're going to try and have them kind of send me an audio clip of them just saying hi, introducing themselves, just for me to say thank you for all the hard work and all the awesome stuff they do for us here. I mean, this channel doesn't really exist without the awesome members of my front office because they're that incredible people. Anyways, next mon, I was talking to them and I was trying to figure out if they would think Hawlucha would make it back to me at the second round, but both Bulu and Feeny hadn't gone yet, so that's what I was kind of debating. And I did feel like I could wait on a couple things, so I said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to take Hawlucha right now. So I picked up Hawlucha with my second pick. Now, obviously, this is very standard Koko Lucha stuff, but it works. It's a really strong pairing, and I can really build my team around setting up these two to put in so much work and really have a lot of success. Now, obviously, I don't plan on running Koko Lucha every week, and I have other sets of Hawlucha that I can bring. I have run Power Herb sets before in the past. I haven't just run the standard, Electric Seed or Misty Seed. I know I've been drafting Hawlucha a lot, whether it was in the IPL or the WPL, but I won the championship in one of those leagues, and I finished with the best record in my division in the other league, I believe. So it puts in work, and we have a strong team with them. So I want to keep it going because I do want to win another league, and if this is what it takes, then I will go ahead and do it. But moving on to our next pick, I decided to pick up something I really didn't want to because, like, I don't use it well. Like, that's kind of just putting it lightly, I guess. And that is Victini. Now, Victini is an incredible mon. It's got Fire and Psychic type as its typing. It's really strong. It's got 100 base stats all across the board, which you know how much I love those Pixie type Pokemon that have those 100 base stats around. It's got Victory Star as an ability, which is nice. It allows me to bump up my accuracy by, I believe, 10%. So those V-Creates will be doing, they'll be hitting pretty much all the time, except for like 1% of the time. So if you miss a V-Create, that would really suck. But its coverage is insane. It's got access to ridiculous special coverage like Blue Flare and Thunder and Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, whatever it is. It's got ridiculous physical coverage like V-Create, and that's pretty much all you need to know because V-Create is a broken move. This is the first time I used Victini in a serious competitive league, but in the one league that I have used it in the past, I really struggled with it. Mostly because I was trying to be a little bit too cute. And, I mean, Victini is the type of Bond you just say, I'm going to ban you, I'm going to Scarf you, or you're going to be like a subset, and that'll be it. And that makes sense. So I have to be smart with the way I use it, and I think it'll put in a lot of work for us. Banded fire types, they'll really help me deal with the water types that want to come in and pressure Hawlucha. It'll help me deal with the psychic types that want to come in and kind of stop Hawlucha, even the ghost types. It'll really help me deal with all of these mons and help me break them down for Coco and Lucha to put in a lot of work for us. But moving on though, we have the next pick. This was back on the way up, so we picked up Nidoqueen. Now I'm really happy this thing ended up falling to me because I did not want to be stuck using Nidoking, and I was looking for a good ground type to pair with Coco and Hawlucha because at this point my electric resists were non-existent, and if you look at the rest of my draft, I believe I only have, I pick it up a bit later, I have 1, 2, 3 weaknesses to electric, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and so I have 4 resists to electric and 1 immunity to Nidoqueen. So I really want to make sure I had a really strong way to counter electric types because Coco setting up terrain for other fast electric types would be really not pleasant for me. And Nidoqueen is one of the best ground types in the entire format. With access to Sheer Force, it allows me to really buff up my power with access to Poison Point. Maybe I can snag a very cute little poison on my opponent. I believe it's a 30% chance to get that poison. But it's got amazing coverage, like ridiculous coverage. It's got access to Toxic Spikes and Stealth Rocks, which are both very important. It gives me a Hazard Setter, which is nice. It gives me a way to absorb Toxic Spikes as well. And you look at its weaknesses, it's weak to water, it's weak to psychic, it's weak to ground, and it's weak to ice, I believe, are the types that's weak to. I could be wrong, I think that's it. And we have pretty much answers to all of those on our team so far. The one we really don't have answers to right now are water types, because Victini is obviously weak to it, and then Coco and Hawlucha don't resist it. So we have to kind of answer to that. And we don't really have the greatest water type answers on our team. We only have 3 resists, and one of them is like, they don't really want to come in and be like defensive, really. But Nidoqueen is great. It's got really bulky stats all around, 90 HP, 87 defense, and 85 special defense. They're really a big improvement over Nidoking, and the attack and special attack and the speed especially, while they're lower than Nidoking's, it's not as noticeable as apparently I would see. And this is my first time using Nidoqueen in an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon playthrough, so I really want to, an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon league, that's what I want to say. And I think it'll do a lot of work for us. I have no idea what I'm going to name this thing or what I'm going to name the other mods on my team. We're still in the process of going over that. But it's going to be a lot of fun to see how we can go about this season with this terror of a Pokemon. The next pick we have, I really had no idea what I wanted again in Tier 3, but I was looking for value. I was looking for something that would help me deal with ice types because, again, my team has 2 ice weaknesses, and there's Victini. I don't want Victini to be my answer to ice types. So I decided to pick up Snorlax. Now, Snorlax obviously gets the Thick Fat ability. No, it's not the most reliable way in the world to handle ice types, and I do get an answer or two a bit later, but it is a good way to handle them. With access to 160 HP, 110 attack and special defense, I can actually really take Ice Beams from non-Terravolt Mons or non-Mold Breaker Mons, and they won't do anything to me. Thick Fat is incredible. It's an incredible ability. Sorry for the stutter, but it's just something that I absolutely love having on Snorlax. There's also the Gluttony set with Recycle and the Figgy Berry, and I can run the Curse Belly Drums. I can run Curse set, I can run Belly Drum set, I can run so many different things. I've used Snorlax before in the past, and it's put in a lot of work. It's a little bit difficult for me to use, just a tad, because I always want to run the same sets, but if I can find the right set every single week, if I can optimize my EV spreads every week, then it's going to put in so much work. And this is my first slow Mon, and you're going to see I really only draft like, I think 2 Mons below base 70, if I'm not mistaken. So we have a pretty speedy team, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see how we can put this Mon to work and put the rest of our team to work. And if you look at it, this gives us a ghost immunity as well, which is incredibly valuable. It gives me a normal type, which just, normal types hit so hard, especially from like powerful max happiness returns. It's going to be great. And I mean, this really helps deal with another problem that we had, which was those ghost types. So I think Snorlax was the perfect addition for this team. Moving on down though, at this point I have taken a Tier 1, I've taken the Tier 2, I've taken both my Tier 3s, and I've taken a free pick. And I still have room for an S tier and for a Mega. So I was debating, maybe I'll take Mega Latias or Latios, maybe I'll take Genesect, because that's really all that was left. But I decided, you know what, there is really good value in Tier 4, and I think I should pick it up now, and that is a Alolan Persian. Now, Alolan Persian is a Tier 4 mon, straight up. If you put it in Tier 3, no one's going to pick it, or no one should pick it in my opinion. If you put it in Tier 5, it's getting scooped up really early. So the reason why I took it now is because I knew it wasn't going to make it back to me, and this was my favorite Tier 4 that was left. I didn't want to be stuck with something like Drapion or something like that for my Tier 4. I really couldn't have that. So Alolan Persian gives me access to Parting Shot, which is one of the best moves in the game. It gives me access to Fur Coat Mon, which will really buff its defense. It's just incredible. It gives me a Dark type as well. It's got ridiculous coverage. I've used it before in the past with a team with Hawlucha and I believe it was Nidoking and Tapu Fini. And I ran the Nasty Plot set to perfection, I felt. Power Gem, Dark Pulse, it gets access to a ton of great stab like Thunderbolt as well, and I believe Water Pulse too. It's got really good special moves. It's also got decent physical moves like Gung Shot and Knock Off and Fake Out, Play Rough. It's a really strong mon, and I think if you use it just as a support mon, you're not getting as much value as you should be out of it. But if you're using it in terms of everything it provides, then you're going to be doing great with it. It's going to be an amazing mon, and it'll just put in so much work for your entire team. Moving on though, I did know I need to pick up this next. The pick was coming back down to me, and I really wanted to pick up a different mon. At this point, I was kind of like, I knew I didn't want to take an Uber if I didn't have to. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of force myself to not take an Uber, because the way the tiering system worked out, Tier 1s were only 120 points, Tier 2s were 100 points, Tier 3s were 80, Tier 4s were 60, and Tier 5s were 40. So it shook out a little bit differently, and because of that tiering, I'm allowed to take technically 4 Tier 1s, and that's what I'm going to do. Now, you look at my team, I have 1 Rocker, and that is my Nidoqueen. You look at my team, I have 1 Defogger, that is my Tapu Koko. You look at my team, I have 1 Resist to Ground, and that is my Hawlucha, which isn't really a Resist, and I don't have a Steel type yet. So what answers all of those things that's in Tier 1? Skarmory. So I picked up Skarmory, and this thing is going to give me headaches. I know it will, because it provides really very little offensive power. It's only got, what, base 80 attack, which isn't great. It's got access to weak armor, yeah, so I can run a Swords Dance set when that be kind of cute, but it's not the greatest set in the world. Basically, this is here to make sure I can get up Spikes, I can get up Stealth Rocks, I can defog things away. It's a toxic immunity, I can Whirlwind out certain setup sweepers. Whatever it is, Skarmory is just the glue mon that's going to try and hold this team together. It's very standard at this point, really standard, and honestly, I don't know how it's going to fit, because Skarmory I don't really like. I did snipe Kurt with it, and it was a great snipe. It was a really good snipe, because he was mad and he ended up taking, like, I sniped him a lot. I sniped him of Koko, I sniped him of Victini, I sniped him of Nidoqueen, I sniped him of Skarmory, and I think I sniped him of something else later on down the line. Actually, I don't think I did, never mind. But I sniped him a lot, and Skarmory was the perfect mon to take here. I knew if I didn't take it now, it wouldn't get back to me, because I think it was Kurt and I think maybe Goldoa. They both didn't have Steel types at this point, or Flying types, so I needed to take it now, and if I didn't, then it would have caused my draft a lot of problems. I would have had to go down to like lower tiers to pick something up, and that just wouldn't have been as effective. So I'm really happy I ended up picking it up. Moving on though, I did dip down into Tier 5 now to pick up one of my 2 Tier 5s. I knew which other Tier 5 I wanted, but I could wait until the end of the draft. And at this point, I believe everyone except for like a few people had their Megas, and I already confirmed with them what they were taking, and they confirmed with me, and we know what Megas each other are taking, so we're not going to snipe each other. So I was able to wait for the second to last pick to grab my Mega. And so I ended up taking here with my Tier 5 selection, I pick up the Gourgeist. Now, the reason I picked up Gourgeist was because I need to have an answer to ground types still. Yes, I have Skarmory. Yes, I have Hawlucha. Yes, I have a really bulky and strong and fast team, but I still need to have something else just in case, because there is Zygarde 100% in this league, there's Zygarde 10%, and there's Zygarde 50%. I have to face off against all 3 percent. I potentially have to face off against all 3. Like, I need to have something better than Skarmory, because Skarmory, yeah, it'll be neutral the first hit 1,000 hours, but then it'll be super effective and I'll die. I can't have that. So Gourgeist is here. Gourgeist gives me a spin blocker, because I do have a couple of mons that can use spikes or toxic spikes, and I want to make sure I can take advantage of that. It also gives me a grass type as well to deal with those really, really good ground types. It gives me a Will-O-Wisp user other than Victini. It gives me access to Leech Seed, which I absolutely love. I believe Phantom Force it actually gets, which is just incredible. Phantom Force is going to be a really cool move to tech out with Gourgeist. It gives me Trick Room too. Trick Room is going to be phenomenal to help me set up with Snorlax. This is my only other mon that is below base 70. I believe it's Snorlax and Gourgeist, and then it goes to Skarmory at base 70, and then after that it's Nidoqueen at base 76, and then everything is above an 80. So it's going to be just a really speedy team for us. But Gourgeist it's just incredible. I love what it can do in theory, and I just want to make sure that I use it well, because I know I might struggle with it just because I think it's going to wall everything. And I do get all the forms of it, by the way, and that's going to be excellent. And pairing it with the Victini and with Nidoqueen, everything that it has, it's just going to fit really well together. I just need to make sure that my ice weakness isn't too crazy, because right now it is kind of crazy. We have Hawlucha, we have Nidoqueen, we have Gourgeist, and we have one other Mon down the line. Moving on though to my next pick, at this point I had pretty much everything locked up. No one could really take another tier 1, but I kind of had to take this now because I felt like this was safer to take than my Mega, so I should take it now. And wasn't as safe as my Mega because I think one person could have taken it. And I picked up Manaphy. Now Manaphy is a mon I knew I wanted 100%. Just like Victini, it's got 100 stats all around. I think it's absolutely crazy. And if you look at my team now, we have 4 tier 1s, Koko, Skarmory, Victini, and Manaphy. They're going to put in so much work for us. 3 of them get access to Momentum in U-turn or Volt Switch, and it's just going to be so nice to have. I have access to Tail Glow. I have the Z Reina set. This is one of my 2 Z users. I really want to make Koko a Z user, but I really couldn't because of the way the points worked out. We only had 100 points, and tier 1s were worth 80 points, and tier 5s were worth 20 points, so I have a tier 1 and a tier 5 that are going to be my 2 Z users. But it gets great coverage. Manaphy is incredibly bulky. A Rest Rain Dance set with Hydration, of course, is going to be phenomenal. Running Calm Mind instead of Tailwind is going to be great. I feel like we have a really strong team going on here, and we still have 2 picks left to make, and both of them fit really well on our team. Now, looking on, you see we don't have a Dragon type yet, and my Fairy type isn't really going to take many hits. So based on that, you can figure out exactly what I'm going to take, and I picked up Mega Altaria. Now, Mega Altaria is phenomenal. If you guys saw our run in the BBL, we picked up 2 6-0 sweeps with Mega Altaria. One of them was a 6-0 win, the other one was a 5-0 win. We've managed to pick up a couple other kills along the way, and this thing just was so incredible for us. I don't really know exactly how to put it into words, because this thing just did absolutely everything. Dragon Dance, Agility, Cotton Guard, Return, Frustration, Outrage we ran once, Earthquake, Fire Blast, all these great moves. It's just incredible. And to top it off, it gets access to Roost, Heal Bell, Defog, Refresh. Just incredible ways to keep itself healthy. And I can't wait to see what we do with it this season. It's going to be amazing to try out. Obviously, it's such a powerful mon, and the access to Tailwind and with Pixelate, of course, and like boosting moves with Pixelate is just going to be so much fun. And look at my team. What's going to switch in on the combination of what I have here? Very little. If I can play the prediction game right, we should be able to just win all of our matchups outright. We have such a strong team, and I'm absolutely loving it. Moving on though to our final pick in the draft. I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted this pick from the very beginning, and not from the very beginning, but from early on when I drafted Koko, because it was in tier 5, and it would allow me to also draft those extra tier 1s, and that is going to be Alolan Raichu. Now, Alolan Raichu obviously pairs extremely well with Tapu Koko having the ability Surge Surfer. It'll allow me to make sure that we double our speed in the terrain, which just makes it so Scarfers can't outspeed this thing. They just can't. They have to set up a Sticky Web, and even then, if they're below base 110 speed, they aren't outspeeding me. So I'm going to take that. It gives me incredible coverage options like T-Bolt and Psychic. It gives me access to Surf and I believe Grass Knot as well. It gives me access to Psychic moves, Electric moves, Focus Blast too. Nasty Plot, Calm Mind is great. There's Nuzzle if I want to be cute and kind of paralyze my opponents. Signal Beam as well for random little like Hoopa U's that might be coming around. I think it's just an incredibly good mon for us. It gives me a second Psychic type outside Victini that's treated more as a Psychic type than anything else. And it gives me another Electric type just in case Koko has a bad matchup, which it really will. I don't think there's going to be very many weeks where I bring Koko without bringing Raichu, or even Hawlucha to an extent. But we have a very combo-heavy based team, and I like it. To me, pairing up mons with combos are very strong. Like whether it's Rain or whether it's I don't know, breakers like Mega Medicham, Mega Gallade, and Weavile, or whatever it is. I think we have a really strong team, and pairing things together and making them greater than the sum of their parts is just so important. And I feel like we have such an amazing team, and we had a really amazing draft. But anyways, guys, I have been rambling on for way too long. So if you guys enjoyed this video and you guys are excited for the start of a brand new season of the PCL, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, of course, for more Pokemon content coming out to you guys on a pretty often basis. I believe I post like 3-4 videos a week, so you guys should really enjoy that, whether it's top 6s or Pokemon profiles or Wi-Fi battles, league content. Of course, that's our bread and butter here. Yeah, I'm gonna try and have my front office post their introductions to the well, to the channel, I guess, in a few seconds. And if I do, awesome. If I don't, I guess we just decided to go against it. But yeah, guys. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.
Howdy Ocean, my name is TexasMan21, and the mon that I'm most excited for Matt to be using is a Lowland Persian.
Hey guys, it's TK or TKO. I'm one of Matt's newer front office members, and Amon, I'm really excited to see him use his Victini because it forms a great U-turn core with Coco and pressures all those steel types for it.